everybody, welcome back to the Student Ministries Conversations podcast. My name is Russell Martin. I am one of the hosts here, and I just wanted to jump on for a real quick reminder, encouragement. I'm looking forward to us getting back to our full podcast episodes and our roundtable discussions that are coming up real soon. But for now, I just want to kind of share just a few reminders and a few encouragements for you as we begin our school year. First of all, make sure that you like and follow and do all of those things. Click the subscribe button, follow, share the podcast, go catch us on social media at Talk Student Men, and we would love to connect with you. Also, go back and look at all the other episodes. We are many episodes. I can't even keep track anymore of how many episodes we have of the podcast. There are interviews with people who are authors and youth ministry, people who have been doing this for a while. There are many more interviews, though, of us interviewing youth directors just like you, who are just in the trenches and just doing this week in, week out, and you have something to share. And so I would encourage you to go look at those and watch those. I would encourage you, if you have something to share, if you are listening to this or you're listening to one of the others and going, you know what? I know something about that. I could share something about that. I have something that I have done that I would love for my voice to be heard. That's what we are wanting. So we would love to connect with you, invite you on one of our shows, and have you share your area of ministry. A little bit about me, if you don't remember or you don't know, I was in youth ministry for about 30 years. And in all sorts of various areas of ministry, volunteer, part-time, full-time, small groups, large groups. One of the things that I did for a while is I had a blog that I wrote about student ministry, and I've slowly been taking some of those posts and moving them over to our new website with the student ministry conversations. And so you can read some of those, but one of those that I was going back and relooking, I was like, what are some of the things that I thought, 10, 15 years ago about student ministry that still apply, and which ones do not apply? And so it's been fun to kind of go back and look through and go, I was very confident about this, whatever it was, and to find out that actually has no more relevancy. Like, it doesn't age well at all. But there are some things too that I've gone through and looked at and realized that these things still matter. Like, these things are still important. And so one of the posts that I put up, and I want to kind of talk through a little bit today, was 5 often overlooked ways to grow your student ministry. And so I'm going to also share this with Brent to put up onto the website. Maybe I'll alter it a little bit, change it a little bit. But that way we'll also have something tangible for those of you who like to read, and I'll update it a little bit. And so look for this coming out further down the road, and I will do this with a few more of those posts. But what are 5 often overlooked ways to grow your student ministry? The school you're starting. We are getting back into it, right? You've done your camps, and you've done your trips and your lake days and your pool days, and all those things are behind you, and your weeks of being gone for a week and back for a week, and maybe that was your schedule, and I want you to know you have been prayed for during all of those. I remember doing all those. I'm now a senior pastor at a church, but I still was gone to 2 youth camps and a mission trip with our students, and so, but by now, band has started back, football has started back, cheer, volleyball, all those things are getting going again. And you are probably having a little bit of time that you can sit in your office and look at the future. And some of you may already have everything planned for the fall. That is great. Some of you may be going, oh, I need to plan for the fall. Go ahead and get started, but that is great. And I encourage you to look back on some of our other episodes that we have that will help you with some of those plans or curriculum or things like that. But no matter what, as you're looking to the fall, you're looking forward, one of the things that you're going to have the opportunity to do is to bring new students. Maybe your 6th graders are coming up, or your 5th graders are coming up in the 6th grade. You have new people coming into school. You have new opportunities. And so what I wanted to share with you is 5 things to continue to think about as you're talking about growing your student ministry. First of all, let me say this. Numbers are not the goal, but numbers are an indicator, and they can help you as you grow. So these are things to just keep in mind as you move forward. The goal is not to get a certain number, but you can set some goals for numbers. It is okay. Hear me say that. It is okay to set some goals. We would like to have 5 new visitors or 15 kids in Bible study, or whatever. Don't do everything you can to get the numbers. The goal is discipleship. But I think those numbers can be helpful. They can also be a motivator for some of your kids. Hey, if we get such and such, I remember we did a thing with a Bible study, and we said, hey, if we ever get 20 kids in this Bible study, we'll go do a Sonic night or something, right? I mean, they can be fun. Don't make them the goal, but do use them. And the other thing with that is do track your numbers. And so this is extra. It is not one of the 5 things. But I think one of the ways that you can continue to grow your group is by tracking your attendance. And you can look and there's fancy programs. We have a couple that have been recommended on this site, Youth Ministry Tracker. There's some others. But even just an Excel spreadsheet or a Google spreadsheet that has the kids' names and the weeks that they are attending and just marking it down. Simple as that. But what it allows you to do is to be able to look and see hey, this kid hasn't been here for 3 weeks, or this kid started coming at this point, and you can see some trends and some things as you go through. So track your numbers, find a way to do that. Find somebody in your group to take attendance each week. But here are, let's go ahead and dive into 5 things that you can do. The first thing is this: do not compare yourself to the other programs. And here's what I mean. Don't look at the other programs and go, I wish I had that, right? Your youth group, your church, your situation, your building, your volunteers, your history, all of those things, your children's ministry and worship style are all unique to your church. Your church has been gifted with people, and the Holy Spirit has given gifts to people for your ministry. And it might not look the same way. Your group might not have the same purpose as other groups. Your group may be more open to a different group of students. It may be, you may have a lot of people who are church students, who your youth, your parents are all belong to the church. You may be in a ministry in a setting where most of the kids who come to your program are not church students who are coming from the community and don't have any connection. It's going to look different. And if you spend your time comparing yourself to this program that has these resources and these things, you're going to drive yourself crazy. Sustainable Youth Ministry, Mark DeVries talks about an average number, what you should have in a group compared to your church. And again, this is going to be different depending on your situation. But one of the things that has helped me is to know that you should probably, a healthy youth ministry would be 1 youth group member for every 10 of your worshiping congregation. All right, so 1 per 10. So if you have 100 people in worship, a group of 10 is great. The church down the street that has 600 in worship and they have 20, they are actually not bigger than you, right? They should have 60 like that. So keep that in mind. Don't look at a bigger church or somewhere else and think my group should be that, because you're going to focus on that instead of focusing on your students. The second thing that goes along with that, the second thing is to care for those that you have, right? You could wish that you were reaching out to the schools and you were reaching out to the community and you were bringing in so many other people. But one of the best ways to do it is to focus on the ones that you have. Get to know those students. Get to meet their needs and to find the ways that you can express and you can share the love of Christ with them. And something amazing happens, right? Something amazing happens whenever you are focusing on a group. All of a sudden, they're like, you know what? I'm comfortable here. I'm going to bring my friend. Okay? And just slowly and sustainably, you will continue to grow as you focus on those you have, because your students actually do the outreach for you. They say, hey, uh, would you come with me? And they invite their friends to that. That brings us to the third thing. Be cautious of big outreach events. It is tempting. It is so tempting to bring in a band and buy a bunch of pizza and have a water balloon fight and have 300 kids come to your church. And you can do that easily. Spend a little bit of money, find out what a big thing in your area is, whatever that is, color wars, water balloons, water night, and there is a place for big events. But my encouragement for you would be to make sure that your youth group the next week would be able to handle anybody who comes back. Because if you have a group and you invite for a big event, you invite 300 people and they all show up, or 100 people, but you only have 5 small group volunteers, then what's going to happen, right? Those events are fun, but I wouldn't focus on those. I would focus maybe on events that are designed to draw maybe 10% more of your group, or a smaller amount of people for your group, because you need to make sure that you have the systems in place that will handle your food, your volunteers, your space, right? You have physical limits on the number of kids that you can really take care of. And so, 10 to 20% of your worshiping congregation is kind of that number. So if you have 100 in worship, then 10 to 20 kids, I wouldn't focus on an event that brings in 300 kids, because you're not going to be able to take care of that. The third thing I would do, and this is more of a sustainable ministry idea, is to get involved and to know your children's ministry. Those third through fifth graders who are running around the building, they're in your junior high group in 3 years. So get to know those kids, get to know their parents, get to know the leaders. Maybe you are a family ministries pastor and you have all of those, but maybe you're not, and there's somebody for children and somebody for youth. And maybe you're at a church where there's a junior high and a senior high and a fourth and fifth grade, whatever that is. Get to know those, especially if you're that junior high, if you're the one responsible for those who are coming in. Get to know those third through fifth graders that are coming in. Go spend some time with them. If their ministry meets at a different time, go volunteer in that ministry, at least some. Go find a way to get with them. And then also, when it comes time for them to move up, start inviting them into your group. So hang out with them, and that way when they grow up and they move into your program, you have a better relationship. And I wouldn't do that just yourself, your volunteers, and even some of your current 6th, 7th, 8th graders, have them come and build those relationships. Vacation Bible School is a great way. Put those 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, or even some of your high school kids, in that small group for VBS. That's your 4th, 5th, or 6th graders. You know what I mean? Like go ahead, because you have a week that you can pour into those students, and you can let them know what it's going to be like, or have some of your youth volunteers be the adult leaders in that group. So get involved and get to know your children's ministry. The fifth thing, the final thing, small groups are key. And I wrote this was 2014 that I wrote this, so 10 years ago, and it hasn't changed. It hasn't changed. There's been no change to, we need to get rid of small groups and go back and get bigger. And if there is, please leave that in the comments. I would love to hear from you. But small groups are a great way to build your youth group, because it creates a small support group. It creates a small place where people know they're going to be talked to. So that means having volunteers. That means pouring into those volunteers as you build those small groups. But any way that you can get them into smaller groups and smaller discussion, they're going to be heard, they're going to be seen, they're going to be able to share. And even as you do your big events, are there ways you can get them into small groups? Like teams, when you're doing water balloon night or whatever like that, you can get them into teams where they're staying with the same team throughout. Photo scavenger hunts that get your groups going, building small groups. And I encourage you to go through and look at and listen to other conversations. Just type in small groups in our search bar and find more, or just type small groups for student ministry conversations and find out other areas for that. So anyway, those are our 5 things that you can do. And there's a 6th one. And this should always be the case. Pray for your students. Pray for your students. Pour into them. Pray for what they're doing, what they're going through. Pray for them as they begin this school season. And pray for your volunteers as well. So 5 ways to grow your student ministry that are often may not be obvious or overlooked. Don't compare yourself to other programs. Focus on your program. Care for those that you have, for those who are coming, and build that way. Be cautious of, I'm not saying don't do, but be cautious of big outreach events. And that more so that is make sure the structure you have for the next week and the weekly ministry, make sure that structure will hold and be able to take care of however many students you have coming. Get involved in your children's ministry, invite those students and get to know them, and then still focus on small groups. I think small groups is going to be in another 10 years, probably the same thing. So simple ideas. Guys, listen, there are a bunch of other episodes and things that dive into any of these areas. And so I encourage you to go look, to go listen, put this on your podcast list. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're on all the different podcast platforms. Go look, go listen, go share this with your friends, and go and do ministry. We're praying for you. We know this year is going to start soon, or has already started for you. And so we just pray for you as you move into ministry. And we'll talk to y'all later. Thanks.